Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 22. We're in Season 2 of our Williams season. It's Race 7. We are heading to Monaco. This is going to be... it's going to be one of those races, I think. There's going to be the chance for us to do something good in terms of results, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of excitement or action on this one. We shall see. You never know. Safety cars, crashes, you know, it could turn out to be quite an exciting race after all, but you know, it's Monaco, so odds are it's more likely to be a bit of a procession. Plus the Red Bulls are traditionally incredibly strong at this circuit, and the Ferraris as well for that matter, so we might struggle here. There's a lot of low speedy bits. There's a mixture of some medium and a couple of high speeds in there as well, but on the whole this isn't going to be the greatest circuit for us. Right, let's set our targets for the race. I'm going to try and get both drivers into Q2. Into Q3. We're definitely going to get both into Q2. Do I think we can get the fastest lap? I think we have the potential if we time it right. We've got a new qualifying streak. 2 in the top 14 for 3 races. That'll be easy, and a nice little payout of $1 million for that. And then we're on the last race of getting 2 in the top 10. We get this one, and we get a 3.18 million payoff. So fingers crossed both cars actually finish this race. How you doing, Anthony, Mr. Water, Farah, Jeremy? Good to see you guys. So let's see where we sit on the grid in terms of performance for this particular race. Not the best speed in terms of top speed, but it's Monaco, so it's less of an issue here. Our low speed cornering isn't great, but it's not bad. Nice. We're very good in the medium speed, very good in the high speed. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of high speed here. The acceleration is good. You know, that's important, especially here. Our brake cooling isn't great. Engine cooling I'm not really worried about too much. Brake cooling I am worried about. That's what's going to increase the amount of lockups. The worse our brake cooling is, the more lockups we're likely to sustain. So yeah, let's hope for an incident-free race. Just double checking points for our staff and drivers, etc. We're way off another point for Simona Resta. Tondi is still a few weeks away. In terms of our drivers, looks like Teo is going to get a point after this race, which is good. Pierre probably won't. It's probably going to be 2 races before we get a point for Pierre. And Logan probably won't get a point this week either. In terms of our upgrades going on, we're upgrading the wind tunnel. It's 43 days away. We do need to start saving up for this, for the design centre here. It is 18 million and we are a long way short at the moment. So that's something we need to be wary of. It might also be worth us dropping another upgrade on the car park test centre to try and improve our brake cooling a bit more as well. Or maybe upgrading the suspension simulator. Neither of them are particularly cheap upgrades, but if we want to sort the brake problem out, they're going to be kind of essential, I think.
Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners, from the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ott. There are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Okay then, let's get to it.
Yeah, no guarantees. Definitely words to live by when it comes to Formula One, especially at this track here. Right, let's go for some setup stuff. We're not going to run Logan tonight. I want to make sure that both my drivers are fully confident on the circuit itself. I didn't pay attention to the weather. Let's see. Just cloudy all weekend. No real threat of rain. That's good. So car parts, as always, we need to swap out to some weaker performance parts for this race, or for practice. We might even run weaker performance parts in the race as well. That gearbox 16. Yeah, I've got another session or two in that gearbox, I think. In terms of setup, maximising the wings to start with. Gonna make the roll bar a 9.1. We're gonna increase I kind of want to decrease the toe, but looking at where that is, let's go with an 8.2 roll bar, and let's go there with our camber and our toe and see how that shakes out. We might potentially end up reducing the wings a little bit. This is where I play it down, but Gasly wins the canter. It depends if we can get pole or not. If we can get pole, we've got a good chance, but if we don't get pole, this is a brutally difficult circuit to overtake. So I think we might struggle to get the front row here, and if we do, we might struggle to challenge for the win. Quality is all important here. It really is. I cannot state that enough. Right, so once again, let's set the wings, set the roll bar. Let's go with an 8.2 roll bar. Actually, let's try a 7.3 roll bar on this car. And let's go with that for our tyre camber and toe. Run plan. We want to run for 19 laps, I think. Didn't set the run plan for Teo. And into practice we go. Anyone buying the new COD this Friday? No, I'm done with first-person shooters for the most part. I'm in.
Radio check, radio check.
I haven't played a Modern Warfare game since Modern Warfare 3 back on the PlayStation 3? Was it a 3 or was it the 2? I think it was the 3. And I haven't played a Battlefield game since Battlefield 4. Am I going to go for the long one stop? I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'm going to one stop, I think, but it's a question of whether I go soft and hard or medium and hard. It depends, I think, on where we qualify.
Watch those curbs.
And there we go. There is a lap of Monaco. Hey, Dirty Trucker. I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? How's the team doing now? The team's doing fantastic. We are top of the Drivers' Championship. And we are closing in. I think we're second in the Constructors right now. Let's have a look. Standings, here we go. So in the drivers' standings, Pierre Gasly is top with 111 points, 3 wins, back-to-back wins, 3 in a row, 4 podiums, 4 fastest laps, 3 poles. Teo is in 6th right now, has yet to get on the podium, doesn't quite have the pace needed to get him up there yet, but he's been doing well. He has nabbed the fastest lap as well. And in the Constructors, we are just 11 points behind Ferrari. Of course, if you do want to see how we've been going from the start of the season, all of those races are still available on the channel.
How was the balance?
So feel free to go back and check them at your leisure. We've got an 83% set up for Gasly, that's not too bad. 81% for Teo, so a little bit of tweaking for both cars is needed. We'll let them finish these runs and then have a tinker. Okay, so let's have a look. Oversteer needs to be tweaked a little bit. Braking stability needs to be tweaked a little bit. Traction is okay. The biggest thing we need to change is the cornering. So let's up the cornering to about there. And let's pull the toe back like that. And hopefully that will do it. They're holding everybody up. Okay, so what do we need to do with Teo's car? Something similar, I'm guessing. Roll bar needs to change, so let's go back to a 9-1 roll bar then. Let's increase the tyre camber. Let's pull the toe back to about there. And let's drop the front wing slightly. Ah, there we go. Let's give that a go. Probably should have increased the run time, actually. Well, we can do that with Teo. We can stick a little bit more fuel in. Let's go with 24 laps. That should be enough for the end of the session. Yeah, Gasly's going to drop a little bit short, so we'll start saving fuel and then we'll try and extend his run.
Keep up the lift off. You're doing a very good job.
Okay.
And there we can see we've got enough fuel for Teo to get to the end of the session. So I'm just looking at the difference between engines of our two drivers, and they're about the same. I mean, the gearbox is definitely worse on Teo's car, quite substantially worse. It's 15%. That's pretty severe damage to the gearbox, where it's only minor damage to Gasly's gearbox. So if we pull up the information, you can see that's quite a big reduction in time compared to, or a big reduction in acceleration compared to Teo's minor loss of acceleration. But that doesn't explain why the gap between our drivers is so big. I mean, you can see it's about a second in terms of their best laps, and a lot of that is down to Gasly's pace stats being, much better than Porsche's in the key areas. So braking and accuracy. No, not accuracy. Reactions. Braking and reactions. I mean, the cornering obviously helps as well, but braking and reactions are the two stats that are going to give the biggest difference on a circuit like this. Being able to brake as late as possible without locking up, and being able to accelerate out of corners as quickly as possible. Those are going to make a huge difference on a circuit like this. And that's why we've got this big disparity in lap times between our drivers. At the moment they're lapping similar kind of pace, but I mean, you can see Gasly's having to drive a little bit defensively at the moment, which is holding him back. Porsche in completely free air right now. Well, not quite completely free air, but yeah, it's a little bit worrying. I think this is a circuit where Teo's going to really struggle in comparison to Gasly. He's been quite close in some races. This isn't going to be one of those races.
Nice job, guys.
Copy that.
We're up to 97%
on balance, please.
with Pierre. Porsche up to 90. I'm guessing Birmingham, you mean Birmingham. Yeah, I thought so. Right, let's... Oh, I forgot to extend the stint, didn't I? Okay, well, we can at least see what we need to tweak, and it's the cornering, so... Okay, let's max out that. Let's pull that back in. And let's just hope that we haven't damaged the traction and oversteer too much, and that they will still be okay. How you doing, Alex?
Fairly T4, please. Fairly T4.
Always leave broadcast camera. I always do for the races. I mean, we speed up quali and we speed up practice, but we run the race at real time. Oh, that's the end of the session, isn't it? I was wondering why I couldn't tinker with Teo's car for a second then. Right, end of the first session. A good first session, I think. We got a lot of good feedback on our cars. Just need to make a minor tweak and extend that back out again. Pull that way. Let's try that. We're going to go with a set of medium tyres for this one. Split it into 2 runs. So we'll go with, let's see, we went 19 laps, wasn't it, last time? Let's go with 22 laps this time. Drop the pace down. Mediums again. Up to 22 laps. Drop the pace down. And off we go.
Okay, radio check.
So as always, make sure our drivers avoid the curbs just to reduce the wear and tear a little bit more. And let's get practice done and done as quick as we can so we can get into quali in the race. So we have some official Formula 1 news again. Audi have officially confirmed that they are partnering with Sauber for the 2026 season. They're going to gradually increase their ownership stake over the next few years. Sauber's current deal with Alfa Romeo is just a title sponsor, effectively. You know, they're not a works team. You know, even though they do get Ferrari engines, that's going to end at the end of next season. So I would expect Sauber to just run as Sauber for seasons 2024 and 2025. They will still continue to use Ferrari engines for those 2 years, and then they will officially become the Audi works team for 2026
Any
onwards.
comments on balance?
Be interesting to see Audi in the sport. We still don't really know what's going on with Porsche. It looks as though they are, as I suggested, 2 weeks ago now, that they will almost certainly enter as a badged version of a VW engine, of an Audi engine. If they do enter the sport, they do still want to. The latest talk is that they might partner up with Andretti, which would be interesting to see if that actually happens. I mean, those two do work together already in Formula E, I think. So they do already have some kind of an existing relationship. It would be another major manufacturer entering the sport, which is what Formula 1 wants. Even if they would only be kind of like Alfa Romeo are right now. as a title sponsor rather than a full-on works team. But it would leave the door open to them potentially becoming a works team further down the line, or at least a full-blown engine supplier rather than a rebadged Audi engine. So yeah, we could possibly see an 11th team on the grid in the next few years, if that comes to pass. That'll be kind of interesting. Right, 99% for Gasly, that is almost perfect. I've got plenty of time to get that up to 100. 92% for Teo, so we've improved slightly, but still need a little bit of work to get that settled. And that is an easy correction. There we go. That should be 100%. So let's just turn that around. What do I think about Red Bull and what fine do I think they'll get? No idea about the fine. The infuriating thing is we still don't know exactly what's going on with Red Bull because everything's been kept confidential. That is the way that the teams wanted it when this process was set up. So they can't really complain about that. There does need to be an appropriate penalty. We're still not there with the roll bar. We were good and then we changed it and now we're still good. Front wing's got to come down, I think. Or has it? Maybe it doesn't. Let's go with that. That tweaks the traction, the oversteer, and the cornering. Let's see how that shakes out. Yeah, so it's all confidential. That's the way that the teams wanted it when they were creating, you know, the financial fair play rules. You know, the cost cap. But it doesn't look good in terms of transparency when there isn't any real transparency at the moment. It's a little different to the Ferrari situation, and a lot of people have been comparing it to what happened with Ferrari and their mysteriously dodgy engine that they came to a private agreement with Ferrari, the details of which were never published, and all of a sudden Ferrari's engine became crap, and Ferrari seemed to basically escape without any real punishment. That was a little bit different. I mean, the FIA suspected that Ferrari were cheating, but they couldn't prove it. And when they worked with Ferrari to create new guidelines, all of a sudden Ferrari's mysterious engine bonus kind of went away a bit. So it confirmed that they were cheating, but not how they were cheating, which was the problem that the FIA had. This is a little bit different. Everything is going to be well documented. I don't think we're going to find out a verdict until Thursday. Obviously, they were supposed to do it Monday, but it was delayed because of the death of Dietrich Mateschitz over the weekend. So I think tomorrow is when they'll announce what's going on with that, or when the next statement will be going on with that. I don't know whether Red Bull have accepted the breach agreement yet. I think they're going to fight it, which means it will stay confidential until it goes to court of arbitration, and once the court of arbitration has ruled on it, then I think the details will be made public, and obviously Red Bull will have to maybe, actually I don't know if they'll have an appeal against that decision. I don't think they will. I think this is their appeal by sending it to a court of arbitration, if that's what they're going to do, which it is looking like that's the case. Do I think they'll take the championship away from them? No, I don't. I don't think the breach is egregious enough to warrant that, based on the speculation that's been put out there. But again, without the details, we don't really know exactly what the overspend is. They've got two breaches apparently. One is a financial breach, and one is a procedural breach. Like I said, until we get more information, we're all just kind of guessing, and we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with that. But there does need to be some kind of punishment that is appropriate. It can't be just a slap on the wrist, otherwise the whole point of the cost cap it will be called into question. You know, if teams can break the cost cap and just get a little slap on the wrist, what's the deterrent to stop other teams from breaking the cost cap going forward?
What was the balance, please?
Car felt fantastic.
Copy that.
The breach isn't up to 7. The breach is a minor breach financially, which falls within 5%. So that could be up to about $7 million. But let's say the latest chatter is indicating that it's significantly less than that.
Anything to sound balance?
Okay, so we have Gasly's car to 100%. That is exactly where we need it. His track knowledge is looking pretty good. So just a single run on hard tyres for session 3, and is all he needs just to get him up to 100% on track knowledge. Porsche, we've actually gone slightly backwards on his car. You think the 5% is it should be lower? Yeah, it should be. I mean, 7 million as a minor breach is ridiculous. I mean, 7 million is a phenomenal amount of an overspend. And that would absolutely have given Red Bull a massive benefit for last season, this season, and probably seasons beyond as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the actual breach is. The talk is that it's a lot less than that. It's, you know, maybe just a few 100,000, maybe up to 1 million or so, but certainly nowhere near the 7%, the 5% cap.
We return for the next day of our highly anticipated race weekend, which sees the end of practice and the start.
Right, so we have gone slightly the wrong way. We've got the cornering nailed down. We are still off on the roll bar. We have to go back to an 8.2. That is optimal for cornering. We haven't got the front wing nailed down yet. That has to go back that way. I'm starting to think that is where we need the front wing to be. So we'll try that this time out. Let's get the hard tyres on. We want just a short run just to get the feedback. So we'll go 17 laps. That should be enough. Gasly is 100%. We just need him to get his car knowledge, or sorry, his track knowledge up. So we're going to run him for 24 laps, and that'll be enough to get him the full 30%, the 30 points bonus at the end of the session for running more than half of FP3. So let's see how we do. Did I change his pace? I did.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Copy.
You reckon they should be banned from racing for a season? They won't be banned from racing. I mean, they can certainly be disqualified. I mean, let's not forget with Spygate, back in 2008, McLaren were fined $100 million, and disqualified for the constructor standings. The drivers were allowed to keep their points. But yeah, it was a big fine, and McLaren lost all of their constructor points. They were effectively removed from that year's championship as far as the constructors went. How many seasons have I got with Gasly? I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. We'll find out when we get back to the garage, I think, at the end of the race. Oh, lock up from Teo. He hasn't put it in the wall. That's good, I think. I hope he didn't put it in the wall. Oh, no, he crashed.
Here's the replay. Now we see the Williams here.
What did he do? Oh, he just clipped the wall on the approach to Sandoval.
Very wrong there.
So he's dinged off the front wing aim plate.
And the team had such...
Well, that could have been a lot worse. He could have gone straight into the barrier at Sandoval and wrecked the car. So we got away with that one, I think. We'll just ignore that minor front wing damage. Okay, we should be getting feedback soon. Oh, we've got a crash. Who's crashed this time? Into a VSC. Ignore that. That might stop us from getting 100% knowledge on this run.
We've had a crash. We can take a look.
Oh, it's Perez. And this big train of cars that we're kind of holding up, he just loses the front end. He just understeers straight into the barrier. Cancel the calling because I still haven't got the feedback that I need. I am going to release Gasly. Oh, there we go.
Comments on balance.
We're optimal. We're 100%. Excellent stuff. So, yeah, we can just run one more lap. But actually, no, let's just call him in, because we do need to run him for more than half a session to get a full XP boost. And he does need as much XP as possible. So we'll send him back out for another 10 laps or so. You think Red Bull should pick up the energy bill to have for everyone as a penalty? Yeah, I can't see that happening somehow. Right, let's put a little bit more fuel in. We're going to leave the front wing damage alone. We're going to go back out with the damaged wing. There's no point changing it. This is only practice, and it runs the risk of us having another off and damaging another wing. We only want him out there for about 5-10 laps, just to get him running for more than half the session. How you doing, Marcel? Good to see you. Okay, Gasly has finished his run. That's him done. He's taken part in everything, and he has the full 100, 100, 100. And that should be enough for Teo as well. So let's call Teo back in. And now we just need to sit out the clock and wait for practice to end. We've got everything we needed to get done. We've got our cars both set up to 100%. Our drivers are both perfectly happy with the track. We've saved a little bit of wear on the parts. Not a huge amount. And we're ready to head into quali with hopefully a very strong performance. Gasly has a shout at pole position, I think. Depending on which engine we use. Porsche could struggle to get into the top 10. He should be okay for the top 10, but it's not a guarantee. Really need some more experience points for him.
We'll get some comments when you're back in the garage and plugged in.
Get those reactions and braking stats improved as much as we can. Have I put the new parts on for the gearbox? Not yet. I'm about to do that now. So, we're going to go with that engine there. That ERS is right on the cusp, so we're going to switch over. And obviously we're going to go with a better gearbox. 60% will be fine. And for Gasly, it is tempting to just run with that engine. Do need to change the gearbox. I'm going to run Q1 with this engine and see what kind of pace we've got against the top runners, and then Q2 I'll switch to a different engine and then make my decision for the race based on those two sessions. Let's remove the cool down laps. So we strip that extra little bit of fuel out. And we are ready to go.
How's the radio on track?
Right, hopefully we'll get a clean run. Be interesting as well to see the difference between Porsche and Gasly's lap time, given that Gasly's got a weaker engine than Porsche. We're going to get a clean run, that's good. That's important. How you doing, Packins? So Gasly's going to cross the line and do a 1 minute 10.3. That's pretty good. Let's see what Porsche can do. He's 2.5 tenths slower. He's got a better engine. They've got identical car parts. They've got identical knowledge and setup confidence. And yet, despite with a much better engine, he's still 2.5 tenths down. That shows you just how much of a difference there is between the skill level of the two drivers around the circuit. Right, next thing we need to see is how good we are against the Ferraris and the Red Bulls with this weaker engine for Gasly. We're not going to run again this session. We don't need to. We just need to wait and see what times the other teams are going to chip in now. Okay, we've got Sainz on track right now. And he got held up, so that doesn't answer any questions. Perez coming out of the pits. No, Perez has set a lap time. He's actually slower than Pourchaire. Did he get held up? I don't know. Didn't see. Let's see what Russell does. Russell coming out the pits now. Norris has been up there for the last race or two as well. Let's see what he can do. And here comes the big hitter. Leclerc and Verstappen. So these are the guys whose times we really need to pay attention to. Russell starts his flying lap. He's got Magnussen in front, so he might get held up. Norris is going to have a clean lap. Magnussen gets out of Russell's way. Okay. Leclerc should have a clean run here. Verstappen is going to have a clean run. Russell is 6/10 off Gasly. Might have had a little hold up. Leclerc 2/10 faster. Verstappen even faster still. Okay, so we are going to have to run the other engine, I think. If we want to try and have any chance of winning this race, we are going to have to switch to a different engine for Gasly. Norris and Pourchaire very close. Look, that's going to be a battle. Along with Alonso and Hamilton. Look how close that is. Perez, I think, might have been held slightly, given how far off the pace he is compared to Verstappen. We know Sainz got held up. Let's see what they do with their final runs.
Alright buddy, good job once again. See you in the office shortly.
Okay, so we ended up half a second off. Not great, but ahead of Lewis. So when we change our engine, we're going to be up there with the Ferraris. Oh, look at Bottas. P3. That's a good lap. Alonso is in that next chasing pack here. Him, Norris, Pourchaire, Perez. Perez didn't really improve. He only just sneaked through into the top 10 there. Russell, and then you've got a little bit of a gap back to the next group, which is going to be Ocon, Magnussen, Albon, Ricciardo. It's pretty close, look. Vettel only just missed out. Stroll not too far away. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a few interesting little groups, I think, in this race. There's going to be a few different trains forming of cars that are very similarly matched, clumping together. So let's change the engine and see what we can do with an 88% engine instead. We're going to go out on scrubs for the first run and then potentially do another run at the end of the session.
Radio check, yeah, can you hear me?
Radio check, okay.
Maybe this race is use of whole gear in order to use it at a later date. This track should be considered a non-entity. Well, we're going to be taking penalties to get an extra engine at some point soon. I'm either going to take them at Canada or Austria, like I usually do. just to get the extra parts in. But we'll see. We'll see how qualifying finishes. I may potentially switch back to the weaker components for this race. Porsche's engine is too low for this. We have to use the one he's on right now. Gasly's engine, we could potentially switch him back to that one, but we'll see. So a clean run for both of our drivers at the start on scrub tyres. And the engine change is worth another 1.5 tenths over Porsche. Anthony says, I don't like watching this race, but Monaco is symbolic for F1. It must be a permanent fixture on the calendar with Silverstone, Spa, Monza and Interlagos. I would say that Monaco's time has gone. It just doesn't add anything to the calendar anymore as a racing event. I mean, the spectacle is glamorous, and given that a lot of drivers live in Monaco, and Charles Leclerc is from Monaco, he was born in Monaco, he's the first Monegasque driver on the grid, or at least to win a race. I think it's pretty much going to be guaranteed to stay. I honestly would not be at all bothered to see this race disappear. It just doesn't work anymore. The cars are too big. They're too fast for this circuit. It's just a procession. You're just waiting for an accident, or around a pit stops to try and overtake someone through the pits, because it's almost impossible to do it on the track. It's just a procession every year. There's no spectacle to it in terms of a racing spectacle. It's all about the sizzle, not the steak. Once again, I'm not going to run another stint. I'm going to trust that our cars will get through on those times. Oh, just Russell's out. I think there are other races that have a much more deserving place on the calendar. We were talking about some of the tracks I'd like to see come back, and I forgot one when we were talking about this last time. I'd love to see Malaysia come back. Sepang is a great circuit. I'd love to see that come back. But it's not going to happen, I don't think. Right, got the right tyres. We're going to wait till the end of the session, and we're going to do one run.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Copy.
Brands Hatch, Brands Hatch, again, wouldn't really work, I don't think, with the modern day cars. It would be, I think it'd just be a little bit too narrow. I mean, it's a great circuit, but if you're going to run Brands Hatch, it means you lose Silverstone, I think. We're not going to have two Grand Prix in the UK. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars are out. Let's send out Gasly and Porsche, and let's ride on board with Porsche. Spain is awful. Yeah, well, Spain is better with the new regs. Spain is definitely better with the new regulations, but they still, and with the changes that they made to turn 10 to make that a faster, more sweeping corner, but they still got that ridiculous Mickey Mouse chicane in there, and that needs to go. Imola was rubbish. Imola's a great track. It's just, it's hard to overtake there, but it's a really good track. I love Imola. It's a real old school racing circuit. The problem is a lot of old school racing circuits, you know, they're really good to watch in some respects. They're exciting to drive, but they can be tricky to overtake just because of the way that the cars have evolved. They've got so big, they're so heavy. You know, it makes it hard to... they're not anything like the small, nimble machines they were 20, 30 years ago. The Bud circuit was... Yeah, the Bud circuit was alright. It had a couple of twiddly bits that weren't amazing, but it did have some really good sections to it as well. Bring back the Nordschleife, not in a million years. That thing is a death trap. That circuit's responsible for more Formula 1 deaths than any other circuit, I believe. Brutal. Yeah, and it wouldn't work. As an event for spectators, it wouldn't work. It certainly wouldn't work on grounds of safety. How would you get access to, you know, get medical teams out? You'd have, it'd just be a nightmare. Nordschleife should never be back on the F1 calendar. Now the Nürburgring, the international Formula 1 track, or the international racing track, yeah, there's no reason why that shouldn't come back, but not the Nordschleife. Okay, is Gasly going to get pole? I doubt it, but let's see what he can do. Can he get front row at least, or second row at the minimum? He gets front row. He goes ahead of Leclerc. That is awesome. Porsche gets 9th. He's going to have a tough afternoon trying to work his way up the grid at all. On the pace of Alonso and Perez and Norris, and I think that's where he's going to stay in that sort of fight for 7th. That's going to be back, you know, going to be about where Porsche is going to be all weekend, I think. As for Gasly, if we start him aggressive and we can jump Verstappen off the line, we could control the race.
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
Seeing how they did in qualifying, Williams are going to be the team to watch here. They'll be starting strong at the top of the grid and will have many opportunities to steer the race in their favour. We saw a solid qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they're sure to have their chance to push even further during the race. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix.
Okay, time for the most boring procession of a race on the calendar. But we've got a good chance of winning this because we're starting second if we can jump Gasly ahead of Verstappen off the start. So, with that in mind, I'm thinking of going soft to hard. I might go medium to hard just to give me a little bit more flexibility. In the second half of the race. If we go soft, we're going to have to pit early. We can certainly make the hards last to the end of the race. That's not an issue. But these tyres will degrade quite quickly. Let's go with the mediums. Pourchaire is going to be kind of stuck where he is. We're going to start him on hards. And look at going mediums, but we may potentially switch that to softs, depending on how the race goes. So let's get rid of that strategy. Because it is so difficult to overtake, we're going to just try and bide our time a little bit. Plus, again, we can hopefully use Pourchaire as a little bit of a roadblock for some of the other teams that are going to pit and come out behind him. And obviously we can just instruct Pourchaire to let Gasly through if that becomes an issue. We want to go full attack off the line and sprint as quickly as we can for the first couple of corners, and then we'll calm him right down. Teo, we're just going to leave as is, because it's so hard to make up positions if you're not on like the first row or two.
It's bright and sunny as the drivers line up on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. After an impressive qualifying performance, they're starting today just behind pole. And looking at the second Williams car. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. Will their hard work pay off today? It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oh, it's a bad start. We hold off the Ferrari. Pourchaire down to 9th, got overtaken by Perez off the line. Not surprising there. Looks like the leaders are going to go on softs. They are, and softs that are more worn because they've used all their softs in quali. So, yeah, if we can jump Verstappen here and then control the race on fresher, more durable mediums, and then get the soft runners stuck behind behind Pourchaire, this could be a really, really strong run for us. We've just got to get past Verstappen as quickly as we can if we're going to make this this work for us. Here's a run up the inside. Be brave into Sandervot. Up the hill. Use the battery.
Very good.
Oh, side by side. And we complete the move. So let's immediately
And there's an overtake.
calm
from
things
Williams.
down.
Stop the pace.
Copy.
And let's see if we can hold back Verstappen while his tyres are as fresh as they are. We'll check in with Pourchaire in a moment. Let's change to interval timing. Pourchaire is actually outside of range of Perez already, so we're going to just give him a little bit of a boost. Try and get him to catch back up again. So, can we hold off Verstappen? There's no DRS until the next lap.
Should be available.
Just need to usurp the Red Bull. So Red Bull is going to be very punchy for the next 10 laps with those soft tyres and its pace advantage. But once those tyres start dropping away, we'll be in very good shape indeed. Porsche is back in range. That's good. Let's calm him back down again.
Coast required.
We're going to just keep an eye on this battle at the front. We haven't really seen that much of Gasly over the last couple of races. He's just been off at the front doing his own thing, and we've been focusing on trying to move Porsche up. But we're going to keep an eye on this battle for the lead for a while. Porsche is already falling off the back again. Let's make sure he doesn't. It's going to be tough for Porsche to keep pace at the moment with those hard tyres. Can we hold off Verstappen on this lap? Leclerc is joining in.
No lift and coast required.
Bring back Hockenheim. Loved that German circuit. Which version? The current version or the old version where it roared through the forest? Because I don't think much of that circuit is actually left anymore. It's been reclaimed by nature. Right, we go defensive to hold off Verstappen. It'll give Leclerc a chance to run.
DRS.
Oh, we've killed Porsche's battery. Got to turn that back off again. Never mind. Can he hold pace?
Can we do lift and coast?
Do I think the AI are getting better? In what respect? You know, have to give me a little bit more than that.
No lift and coast required from our side at the moment. Let's pick our pace up, let's go.
Trying to stay on the back of of soft runners. I think we might just have to let them go. Moving out of the way and the race driving. They're definitely better at getting out of the way in terms of blue flags. That's been improved upon since launch. Still room for improvement, but they are definitely better at that. The racing, I do feel that there are periods when the AI does seem to push a little bit more. but it's generally, I think, around the time that they're looking to make a pit stop. I find they tend to get a little bit faster when they start prepping for it to make a stop, like they're going for a couple of quick in laps to try and open up a gap, or you know, or stay ahead, you know, with an undercut rather than getting caught with the overcut. Anthony thinks Teo might be too slow to hold up, or too far behind to hold these guys up. Well, this is why it was important for us to get Gasly in front of Verstappen, so that they can't use the pace of the soft tyres to sprint off into the distance. I mean, in terms of the gap to Porsche, the gap is 9 seconds. That's okay. Porsche's tyres will bring him back onto the soft runners as their tyres start to wear out, and that gap will start to close down. As long as he doesn't drop down the order, he can stay ahead of Norris, and then by extension stay ahead of Russell, then it should work as a plan. But we will keep an eye on the gap. I could slow Porsche down and try and back them up, but by doing that I do run the risk of leaving myself vulnerable to being overtaken. So I'd rather just leave leave Gasly at this pace, where he seems to be holding people off. Sainz and Bottas side by side. Sainz completes the move. How do I feel about the word moribund? It's not a word I would use. I'd like to try and get a little bit more battery back into Porsche's car at some point, but we're going to wait until the tyre balance switches and the hards start to become better than the softs in terms of pace. Leclerc keeps threatening to join this battle and then dropping off again. Need him to stay close to Verstappen and pressure Verstappen, so it takes a bit of pressure off of us. Sainz is potentially going to drag Bottas all the way onto the back of us as well. We've got to keep an eye on that gap. Again, Sainz, I think, running those soft tyres. Let's have a look. Yeah, he is. That's going to make things interesting as well, because if he does bring Bottas with him, then when the soft tyres start to pit, that could leave Bottas right on the back of Gasly and keep Gasly under pressure again. Oh, here's a chance. Verstappen trying to go around the outside, and he gets the move done. Right, we'll try and overtake him again.
Red Bull gained a place.
The tyres make a bigger difference now. Yeah, they definitely do. There's more of a difference in grip between the compounds. There's definitely more of a difference in pace between the compounds.
Battery is high, you can use overtake if you need.
Okay.
and with the wear model having been changed, you definitely notice the pace drop off as the tyres wear down. I mean, we could just sit here in the wheel tracks of Verstappen and save our tyres a little bit and then capitalise. Go side by side up the hill. Can we get the move done? Yes, we can.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, very good.
Still side by side through Casino, but we've got the inside line for the hairpins.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
But we want to control the overall pace of the
Okay,
race
ciao, John.
so that we don't get a
Okay.
big gap opening up to Porsche.
Okay, buddy, nice work. Keep it up.
We want to try and keep him in play.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Go through
Ciao,
Raskas into Anthony Noakes.
Okay.
Watch Verstappen coming up the hill. He's again got that covered.
Okay, ciao, John.
Okay.
Oh, Bottas has got back ahead of Sainz again. Verstappen looking at a lunge down into the chicane there.
Charge off.
Yeah.
Right, we've got Verstappen covered on this corner. Can we keep him behind up the hill? Leclerc getting back into the wheel tracks of Verstappen again. Just trying to piecemeal
Okay, ciao,
charge
John. Ciao, John.
the battery a little bit.
Okay.
Porsche and Norris almost side by side, just about hanging on right now. Porsche is a season or two away from challenging for first. A couple of seasons away, I think. So we need to improve his cornering, his braking, and his reactions. And it's too much for this season to try and get him up to that level. He's a good support driver right now. He's a good young driver who's going to get better as the season progresses. But yeah, he's not
Charge off. Charge off.
he's not a front of the grid
Yeah.
competitor yet. He needs all of this season and probably most of next season. Oh, the sec spots are back. Let's get rid of those. I'm after that German sounding guy, aren't I? What German sounding guy? You're talking about Oliver Behrman, the young British driver. Yeah, he's 17, 18 years old now. I think he's just turned 18 in this game now, but he still needs to complete this season. But he's our long-term youth driver prospect, so he's going to be signed at the end of this season, once he's completed his second season of F2 and F3. And then he'll sit in the reserve role for a good 2-3 years before we promote him up to a race seat. I'm looking at potentially signing either George Russell or Lando Norris as a potential replacement for Gasly in the future. I mean, Gasly's got all of this season and probably all of next season with us. But going forward, I may potentially drop Porsche at the end of the year if Norris or Russell are available. I do want to have a good British lineup, you know, at some point for this team. I want at least one strong British driver in the team, and so that might be either Russell or Norris alongside Gasly, and then once Gasly's contract runs out, we'll look at then replacing him with them, and depending on how well he's developed. I want to do an all Porsche could outperform both Russell and Norris. No, I don't think so. And maybe 5 or 6 years down the line potentially, but Lando is quick. Russell is not quite as quick, but he's certainly a lot smoother. He has an incredibly high smoothness rating, and they're both young drivers. They have less growth potential because they're already into average, because they're a little bit older. Oh, here's Verstappen having a look. Can we get him up the hill? Five laps ago, Verstappen would have out-dragged us up that hill, but his tyres are starting to get to the point now, look, where they're falling away a little bit. We look at the lap times as well. You can see Porsche is now almost on the pace of Perez. So in another couple of laps, we might see Porsche start to actually lap faster than Perez. Let's see, Hamilton is leading Alonso and Perez at the moment, and so they're going to be sticking on his gearbox for as long as they can to improve their pace. And that's why Porsche hasn't caught up a little bit yet, because Alonso and Perez are lapping at Hamilton's pace rather than their own pace, but Porsche is within a couple of tenths now. And Verstappen is getting aggressive, which to me suggests he's getting ready for a pit stop. And he's trying to up his pace for a pit stop soon. Discussing Porsche's pace while he tries to get spam out of the tin. You're getting spam out of a tin, I'm getting spam off my channel by keep having to remove sex bots again. Okay, so Porsche currently a 1:16.1 last lap. Let's see what he can do this time around. Is Verstappen going to have another lunge? He is. Can we hold him off? We can. Oh, identical lap times, look, for Gasly and Verstappen last time round, 0.702. And still that 2 to 3 tenths difference between Porsche and Perez. You've just looked up Oliver Behrman. Yeah, I can see why you would think he might sound a bit German, but is Gasly pulling away now? Not yet. Verstappen's still looking pretty punchy, especially using the DRS to try and make that lunge into Sandervot. Doesn't get it this time. Yes, that was the lighter. Or was it really a secret set of castanets that I have hidden away and just randomly click them just to confuse and disorientate people? You decide. Hey now, I haven't done the muting thing by accident for a while now. Sometimes I just don't have much to say. Alright, Verstappen is now starting to struggle. He's keeping pace with us because of keeping in the DRS. But if we watch the gap increase as the lap goes on, I am toying with the idea of actually sprinting Gasly for a lap just to try and break the DRS. I'm going to see how the gap changes over this lap. I might even, actually thinking about it, let's try backing him up a little bit.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
If they are getting ready for pit stop,
Charge on, charge on.
we want to make sure they come out behind Teo. I don't stop talking. Cheeky bastard.
Charge off.
Copy.
Alright, can we hold him off this time? There's another look. Can still hold him back, that's good.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Yeah, I'm just providing commentary on what's going on, but I'm not like some of those YouTubers out there who absolutely love the sound of their own voice and never, ever shut up. You know, if something interesting happens or I'm providing commentary on what we're doing, that's one thing, but I try not to ramble on. Sometimes I do, but that's more because I'm autistic rather than a desire to just keep talking. Sometimes I just get stuck in a loop where I have to finish what I'm trying to make my point, and I get a little bit circular and I keep repeating things. And that's a little bit different.
Charge off.
Okay.
Okay, charge on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're definitely backing the pack up. You can see that Sainz has actually dropped off because of his soft tyres have gone off, but Bottas is definitely on the back of this group now. And you can also see that the gap to Porsche has come down. It's now 17.5 seconds. That gap's getting smaller. So us doing this is bringing Porsche further back up the order once the pit stops take place. And not just Porsche, but it's also going to bring Russell into play. It's going to bring Magnussen and Norris and Ocon into play as well. I think we need about 22 to 24 seconds for a pit stop on this track. And at the moment, the gap is 21.5 seconds to Ocon. So if we can keep doing this, and now, as they're getting ready for their pit stops, keep backing them up a little bit,
Go charge off.
we're going to put them behind some even slower cars. Still side by side, got the inside line coming out of this corner. There we go.
Charge on, charge on.
What's my strategy here regarding Gasly? I'm going to push him really hard once the soft runners start pitting. Try and open up as big a gap as I can. That's why I've been gradually charging the battery back up and trying to save a little bit of fuel so that I can just sprint him for a few laps and then make a pit stop onto hards and hopefully get out ahead of everyone else and maintain track position that way.
Charge off.
Because on pure pace,
Okay.
I don't have the pace to beat Verstappen and Leclerc. Well, maybe Leclerc, but not Verstappen. But if I can get ahead of them through the pit stops, or stay ahead of them through the pit stops,
Okay.
then we've got every chance of winning this race. If we're playing bingo, Yuki has not done a Yuki yet. Nor is Magnussen, nor is Stroll. We've had no Porsche pirouette yet. And that gap is now 15.7 seconds to Porsche. We are bringing him all the way back into play. Ocon's now in play. So theoretically, the Ferraris and Max are going to come out behind Ocon now.
Charge off.
Copy.
Max having another look. We've got the better drag up the hill.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
Porsche is now closing on Perez as well. That gap down to just 2.5 seconds. Perez and Alonso scrapping away. They've dropped off the back of Hamilton. They are on soft tyres to Hamilton's medium, so that's not surprising.
Push hard, push hard.
Surprised these. Oh, there's Sainz diving into the pits.
Sainz in the pits.
Verstappen having another look. He's desperately trying to find a way through. So let's see, where does Sainz come out? He should come out behind Ocon, I hope. No, side by side in Sandervot. He's going to get out just ahead of Norris. Okay, so it's less time than I thought was needed for a pit stop. So I need to hold these guys up a little bit more.
We need a little bit more lift off, please.
Yeah.
And we have margin to push a little bit more on the tires.
Copy.
Okay, Verstappen covered off. K-Mag only appears to K-Mag when I'm the manager of Haas. No, we've seen Magnussen do a Magnussen quite a few times as manager of Williams. Can we see the other pit stop times anywhere? Not as such. You can only see the pit stop times of your driver or your drivers. You can't see the times spent in the pits for the other drivers, which is a bit of a shame. You do get an estimated predicted pit stop time loss, which never seems to be accurate. You know, on the circuit overview page. But if you've got the leader timing up like this, and you can see the gap, it gives you an indication. Oh, there goes Leclerc. It does give you a rough kind of indication based on the gap from where you are now to where they are to you now to where they come out as to how long you'll lose on a pit stop. So if we say 1 second there for Leclerc, I think it was a little bit less than that, but we'll say 1 second for Leclerc, and let's see what he comes out at. Oh, it was a big wave of pit stops.
Okay, Fernando has boxed.
And he comes out 19 seconds behind, so it's maybe only 18, 19 seconds then. But crucially, they are behind Porsche, who will be putting on probably a set of softs at the end of the race.
We have margin to push a bit more.
And now I'm going to try and break away. Probably should have done this before the DRS zone, but I get the feeling this might be Verstappen's pit lap. It is. There we go. Yeah. Pit time soon. We're just outside the window. We're now in the window. There we go. So yeah, we're going to push hard now for the next 2-3 laps. So Verstappen's going to come out behind 2 Ferraris. That's good. And again, yeah, it's about 19 seconds, give or take. So we're going to come out behind Sainz.
Cool down the tires where you can.
But we'll have slightly better tyres. We need to try and pull some time back on Sainz if we can. The fact that he pitted so early compared to Leclerc and Verstappen has kind of scuppered my initial plans a little bit.
go recharge on.
That was a very good lap.
That's a good start, new fastest lap.
Lift and coast required.
I'm going to try and start backing Porsche up, I think. Where's Bottas got this from? The Alpha is very strong in the low speed at the moment, so that's why he qualified so high up the grid. Plus Bottas is a very highly rated driver. He's got to be, what, 88 rating, I think, at this point. Maybe even an 89. And he's on mediums as well, so if we just kept driving at a regular pace,
Battery is on the low side.
then it wouldn't have been an issue.
Copy.
And he wouldn't have been able to keep pace with us. But because we deliberately tried to slow things down and control the pace of the grid a little bit, that's why, damn it,
Sounds
Sainz
like
got
someone's
through.
locked up.
We're not going to have the grip to chase him down. So we'll just try and hold everyone else up as well, you know, as much as we can. We have slowed Sainz down a couple of seconds. It's a combination of Porsche pitting, slowing down, and
Recharge on.
Gasly pushing.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please.
I'm going to box him this lap. A lap earlier than planned.
Box, 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 box.
This should get me out in front of Porsche, but behind Sainz. Do they lose their rating when they get older in the game? I don't think there's any stat decline built
Copy.
into the game. I think they just get to a point where they just retire. Oh, Hamilton's pitting. Sainz going through Raskas, through Anthony Noakes. He's onto the start-finish straight. This is going to be close. There's Sainz. He's just going to get us. Oh, is he? Yes, he is. Just. But we've got pace on Sainz, I think. And there's Porsche. He's done his job beautifully, so we can speed him back up again.
Okay, push. Let's go.
That has worked out perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. Obviously, we are still behind the Ferrari, but you know what I mean.
Need to drop the pace.
Yeah.
We got out ahead of Leclerc, we got out ahead of Verstappen, and we got them behind Porsche. So yeah, I don't think there's any stat decline programmed into the game. Whether that's something that's going to be added or not, I don't know. But they reach a certain age and they automatically get a situation where they could potentially retire, and then that kind of varies, I think, depending on what teams are available. I think once they reach a certain value, if the team that they're not interested in has a vacancy, it's unlikely that they'll go to that team. But if there's a vacancy, they might continue their career. If there isn't a vacancy, they might just retire. With the young drivers, you'll see when you negotiate with some young drivers, especially drivers like Felipe Drugovich, right from day one, it says, I'm thinking of retiring soon. When they reach a certain age, they just retire. Young drivers, if they haven't been signed by anybody, even to a reserve role, and I think that's just to represent them going off into a different discipline. So maybe going to IndyCar or going to LMPs or GT or something like that. because they can't get a drive in F1. Right, we're already over the back of sights. Let's see if we can get them with DRS here. Nope. Russell has pitted. I'm going to take this opportunity to charge him up.
Charge on.
I'm also going to conserve him a little bit.
Give us a bit more lift off, please.
Copy.
Castanet time. Okay, so we're going to drop back a little bit here, I think, while we're doing this, but as long as we stay in touch. I'm dropping off a little bit too much, actually.
Let's go for a push.
Okay.
DTM, yeah, it's another series that drivers
Let's
can
lift
go
off,
into.
please.
Which is basically just
Okay.
German touring cars. How many clicks is it, or how many SIGs are you lighting up at once? No, I was just literally just flicking the top to make it sound like a castanet. I only clicked it on the last one.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained the place.
Oh, Teo has finally been overtaken by Leclerc, but he's done really well to hold him up that long.
Charge off.
Copy.
Is it a flippo? Do you mean a zippo? No, it's not. It's just a... you wouldn't hear a click. You'd hear a different noise at the hinge, and then you'd hear a different noise for the wheel being rolled. But no, it's just a cheap electric click lighter. Alright, let's see if we can close that gap back down again. To kind of get a little bit bigger than I was liking. Porsche still doing an amazing job here, holding up Verstappen for us, taking him out of the equation. Bottas and Hamilton are right behind him as well. I am going to change his strategy onto strategy B. Give him a chance to fight his way back up a bit once he makes his pit stop. I used to have a Zippo. I've had a couple of Zippos over the years, but I haven't got one at the moment. Now we are gradually closing down sights by about a tenth or two a lap. I'm going to get Porsche to actually open his speed up a little bit more now.
Let's push, come on.
Oh, look at Bottas trying to go up the inside of Verstappen there. I think he's got him. Oh, we cover off Bottas, and that I think is going to allow Verstappen to keep position. And even have a look at us. Oh, he's got us. We shifted to cover Bottas,
Oh,
and it
okay.
allowed Verstappen to sneak through there. That's a shame. take a look at the grid in terms of tyres at the moment. Everyone's on hards now. Alonso's still yet to pit. Schumacher still yet to pit, but Schumacher's way at the back of the grid. Yeah, I think I might stick with the attempt to get him onto softs at the end. Just debating whether or not to keep him on the mediums or not, or go back to putting him onto mediums so he gets his pace a bit back a bit quicker. But I mean, his wear rate's good. He's got enough life in the tyres to last, but he's going to drop down the order. It's just a question of giving him too much work to do when he does come back out onto softs. As things stand, he's going to come out
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
in 13th behind Ocon, and you know, probably behind Vettel, well, around the Vettel-Norris fight as well, if he starts losing too much time. I mean, we are lapping nearly a second a lap slower. Might be safer just to pit him. Keep the track. The track position is king at the circuit, so what's the difference in terms of laps? It's an extra 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an extra 6 laps, and if we're losing a second a lap, that's an extra 6 seconds. We're just starting to plummet down the order now. Yeah, I think I'll go back to the original plan of mediums, and then we can always look at maybe doing a switch to softs if a safety car happens. I'm amazed, actually, there have been no incidents at all. Have we even had a single yellow flag? I don't think we have. Oh, we had a yellow flag on lap 32, which was the lap Gasly pitted. Not quite sure what for. Maybe just a car being lapped. But yeah, there's been no real incidents at all this lap, has there? You can see everyone behind Teo's lapping a second to a second and a half faster than him. Albon is holding people up. Okay, so as long as we can stay ahead of Albon, you know, keep the gap to Albon okay, then that'll bring us out in 12th when we pit. It's just a question now as to what Albon's going to do. Is he going to go mediums or is he going to go softs? His tyres are slightly better than ours, and we were saving ours for a while, so I don't know. We are lapping half a second faster than Albon. 0.8 of a second faster than Albon. So as long as he can keep those drivers behind him, Albon's going to be a nice little buffer for Porsche here. So we'll have to make sure that we keep an eye on that. That, I think, is going to determine what strategy we go on to for Teo. Gasly is now right back onto Sainz again.
Charge on, charge on.
Yeah, copy.
We're going to try and punch our way through.
Overtake available.
Yeah.
So can we get the move done here? Going to go around the outside. Oh, comfortably making the move.
Good job.
We have more pace, so I'm going to try and break away
Okay, we need something
on this lap, if I can. And then we can just naturally try and eke out a gap over sides.
Copy.
This should be a new fastest lap for Gasly as well. What is the current fastest lap? 1:14.1. We're going purple, purple.
And keep an eye on your battery.
Copy.
A 1:12.7. Whoa, that's a mighty lap. Okay, so we need to go neutral on the battery, close off the fuel, close off the tyres. We've got our gap to Sainz, and we have enough natural pace that we should
We need
be
a
able
little
to
bit more
gradually
lift off if you can,
increase
please.
that
We
as
need a
well.
little bit more.
I just wanted to have a good couple of
Copy.
seconds between us so that if we get held up by traffic, of which Joe is the next car up, then we don't immediately fall straight back into DRS. Ocon's got through against Albon, so I'm going to pit Porsche this lap.
Box, 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 box. Let's push.
This is going to be touch and go. Gap is about 19 seconds. It's going to be really touch and go as to whether or not we can actually get this this pit stop done and stay ahead of Ocon. We'll stay ahead of Albon, but I don't know about Ocon. Need a good stop. 2.5, it's not bad. Ocon's going through Anthony Noakes now. This is going to be close. Here he comes. I think we've got the move done. We have. Excellent. So,
Okay,
try and
we'd
push
like you to slow down, please.
a little bit. That's just up the tyre pace. We'll push for a lap.
Come on.
Just want to break away from Ocon if I can. We now have a tyre advantage over everyone in front of us for a while, but their tyres are certainly going to be more durable. There we go. Good job, Teo. Just outside the points. Should be able to have the pace to catch and pass Magnussen. Hopefully Russell as well. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Now we've got past Joe without any real issues. Gap almost up to 3 seconds now. So touch wood, this is going to be a pretty straightforward win for Gasly now. Manipulating the field the way we did by having Porsche hold everyone up and then backing everyone into Porsche as well has certainly paid off. You know, we've put Sainz, the slowest of the 3 chasing cars, between us and Leclerc and Verstappen. We've managed to get the fastest of those cars, Verstappen, to the back of that little chasing queue. And now we have a comfortable position in the lead with better tyres than the cars behind us. Let's have a look at the battle behind us. Let's keep an eye on Verstappen and Leclerc. Oh, someone's had a spin. We've got a VSC.
And VSC.
Okay.
No more DRS.
I'm actually going to increase the fuel slightly
We've just had a crash
under
on the
VSC.
track.
It's Hamilton.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Clearly something went...
Oh, and he's holding up Perez.
Let's lift off, please.
Yeah.
He held up Bottas. Alonso and Perez got held up badly there. That's going to really help out in terms of Porsche's chance of chasing everyone else down. The gaps are big at the moment, but they're going to get smaller as soon as the VSC changes, because the cars will go back up to racing speed. The reason I've put the fuel burn up is because you do have a tendency to maybe lose a little bit of ground over the AI, especially if you start trying to harvest or charge up during a VSC. I want to see if I can actually gain a little bit of time on them. And so far we are eking out a slight advantage over Sainz. Gap's now 4 seconds. Porsche 5.3 seconds behind. Albon's made his pit stop. Has he gone mediums or has he gone softs? Schumacher's gone soft, so I'd imagine Albon's done the same. Just heard the wheel guns there as we went past. And Albon has gone softs. Okay, gap to Sainz has increased by another half a second. Gap to Magnussen has actually gone down, or gone up by a second, which is not quite sure why that is. Might just be the part of the track he was on. What a masterclass I've shown you. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a masterclass, but I think I've done a good job in maximising the chance of Gasly's win. We have had to sacrifice Porsche a little bit to do that, but he has an opportunity to get back into the points.
And VSC ending. Okay, DRS enabled.
And keep going with the lift off. You're doing very good job. Keep going
Here's
with the
why
lift off.
Porsche is a driver for a season or two. Got
Yeah.
talent, just needs XP. He could and should own the seat, and maybe I should have an Anglo-French driving team. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to get rid of Porsche. I'm going to wait and see what the situation is with contracts and stuff at the end of the season. I mean, if Russell... I don't think Russell's going to be available. If Norris is available, and again, I don't think he's going to be available either, then they are definite potentials. Next season, I think we are going to struggle with development of the car a little bit, because we're going to have a lot less hours in terms of MAU hours and wind tunnel hours, because we're going to finish, you know, in the top 3 of the constructors this year. I mean, we're second now. We're not going to take the lead in the constructors at the end of this race, because Porsche is not really chipping in with any real points at the moment, but you know, we'll certainly gain some ground on Red Bull, and we'll close the gap to Ferrari as best we can. I think they're going to pull away from us a little bit. We're going to extend our lead at the top of the drivers, and so having 2 fast drivers next year might be better for us. You know, maximising the limited development and research that we can do with the car next year, as opposed to having 1 quick driver and 1 driver who still has a lot to go. Again, we'll see how Porsche develops over this season. We might well keep him into next season as well, but he is the weak link in our driver lineup at the moment, understandably so. And based on how things go this season, it might be beneficial to us to replace him with a faster driver next year, who still has good growth potential in the case of, you know, a Norris or a Verstappen. Not Verstappen, sorry, a Norris or a Russell. Why was there a VSC if Lewis is still going and appears to be going fast? Well, there's always a VSC if the car hits the barriers and comes to rest in a dangerous position, which it did. It was on the racing line on a blind corner. So, you know, it makes perfect sense that they would throw out a VSC. Plus, although the game didn't show it, there was a potential for debris that needed to be picked up as well. So it doesn't surprise me that we got a VSC as opposed to a yellow. Let's just see if he took any tyre damage from that. No, it appears he didn't damage one of his tyres. They're still showing at 76%. If he damaged one of his wheels in terms of using a lot of rubber, then that would affect his tyre percentage, but that doesn't seem to have happened. He might have taken a little bit of suspension damage, or maybe a little bit of chassis damage from that crash, we don't know. And he might have taken a little bit of rear wing damage. We'll keep an eye on his lap times. He's half a second slower than Bottas at the moment. Albon is all over the back of Gasly trying to find a way through, but he can't unlap himself. We've actually lost a little bit of time to Sainz because we're stuck behind... There we go. Stuck behind the Haas of Tsunoda. Now Tsunoda and Albon are going to fight for position. Oh, Verstappen got past Leclerc. We missed that. That happened right after the safety car, I think, right after the VSC. Because that's when we changed the camera. So Verstappen is going to pull away from Leclerc now. You can see the gap's almost a second already. Leclerc's going to hang on as long as he has the DRS, but as soon as he loses that DRS, then he will just drop back. Let's take a look at Teo. Teo's onto the back of Magnussen now. Need to charge the battery up a little bit.
Let's go recharge on.
Can you negotiate with other drivers on a pre-contract before the end of the season, or do you have to wait? There is no delay on contract signing. You negotiate with the driver, and they accept your contract offer. It's an instant transfer, which I think is something that needs to change. I can understand it with staff as well. That you could. I think if someone's a free agent, you should be able to sign them immediately. I think if they're not a free agent, then you should have to wait until the end of the season. I mean, in reality, a driver could be dropped at any point and replaced at any point. That's certainly become a popular thing to do with Red Bull, chopping and changing the drivers between Red Bull and Toro Rosso / AlphaTauri, but yeah, we've seen it with other drivers as well. But the more traditional way to do it is to obviously do it as a straight contract negotiation. Come on, Porsche, make the move even if you don't have the battery going. Use those tyres.
Okay, buddy, you're doing a great job here.
Good job. Right. Now he's got a little bit of extra battery so he can fight Russell when he catches up to him.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
No lift and coast required from our side at the moment.
So I understand why it is an instant transfer, but I do think that if you're buying out someone's contract, then you should only be buying them out at the end of a season. I think you should only be able to do instant transfers on drivers who are either reserve drivers or free contracts. Designers and engineers, there's always gardening leave. Yeah, there is. How do you factor that into the game, really? I mean, it would... gardening leave always varies depending on who the person is and their perceived value, so... The way it works with the staff, if you... well, as we saw when we signed Dickon Balmforth in season 1, I forget the name of the aero guy that we got rid of, but he went straight into that slot at AlphaTauri as a straight replacement because he was instantly available, having just been made redundant. So if there's a gardening leave situation in that and we steal Pierre Hamlin, we still have to pay, wait maybe 3-6 months until we can get Pierre. Not Pierre, sorry, I'm thinking of the engineer, Pierre Hamlin. We still have to wait 6 months before we can maybe get Dickon into the team. That leaves AlphaTauri without an engineer, and we still have to pay and use the existing aero guy that we don't want to use anymore for the next 6 months as well. So yeah, I can understand why that is not factored into the game. At the end of the day, you want things that are like that to maybe be a bit more streamlined in a game. You don't want it to be full-blown simulation on everything, because it can just make the game clunky and work as a detriment to what you're trying to achieve. But in terms of driver contracts, I do think, like I said, free agents, you should be able to sign instantly. Reserve drivers, you should be able to sign instantly, but with a financial penalty, maybe, you know, buying out their contract. With anyone else, I think you should have to wait till the end of the season. You can do a negotiation, but you don't get the driver till the end of the year. Alright, Gasly cutting his way through the traffic, still being shadowed by Albon on his soft tyres. That is hurting us, which is why we're not able to pull away from Sainz as much as I'd like, because we are having to go defensive against Albon. Even though he can't overtake us, he is harassing us and haranguing us and harrying us and making us drive defensively, and he pulls alongside, then backs out because the gate won't let him unlap himself. All of that is working against us. And that's going to carry on for another 5-10 laps, I think, before Albon's tyres fall away, or until we catch up to Stroll, who is just going through the hairpin, coming out of the tunnel now, or about to go into the tunnel. There he is. So yeah, 5 to 10 laps of more of this shadowing from Albon, I think.
Can we do lift and coast?
Porsche closing in on the back of Russell. Perez and Alonso also there. And then it's a long gap to Hamilton. No, it's only 4 seconds to Hamilton. It's a long gap from Hamilton to Bottas. So potentially with Teo, we're on for 6th place. I don't think we're going to get 6th place. I think realistically the best we're going to get is 7th. I don't think we're going to have enough time in the remaining 18.5 laps to get past Russell and Perez and Alonso, chase down Hamilton, and then pass Hamilton. I think that's a little bit too much. But we are now in contention for more than just a point.
The brakes are really poor.
Oh no, no.
Copy, confirmed.
He's in the wall.
They've crashed out!
No!
Let's see what happened there. Now we see the Williams here.
Oh,
And
what the
then we
hell?
see the crash. No! The team are really disappointed.
Is he out?
Let's take a closer look.
What the hell happened there? I don't even know if I'm still in the race.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Okay, I am still in the race. I'm pitting this lap. I'm pausing for a second just 'cause I want to see what damage has been done. I'm going to come out ahead of Hamilton, but I'm going to be a long way back. But I'm going to have 18 laps on soft tyres to really just go for it. We've taken major front wing damage, nothing else. Okay, so we might not get out ahead of Hamilton. We probably won't get out ahead of Hamilton. But we'll be able to get past him quickly. We desperately need to change the front wing. That was the most bizarre crash I've ever seen.
Yeah, in the box.
Okay, copy that.
So we're going to come out behind Hamilton. We might come out behind Alonso and Perez and Russell and Porsche here because of this wing change. Ah, disaster.
Okay, charge on.
Copy.
I don't really understand exactly what happened there, but I do know that we just got royally screwed. And that's cost us the win. I even with brand new soft tyres, we just do not have the pace to catch all the way back up to Sainz. We are 36 seconds off the lead right now. Porsche's dropped back because I told him to jump out of the way and let Gasly through. I'm going to have the pace and the grip to get past these guys. It's just how quickly I can do it and then whether I can sprint after everyone else. I need to push Porsche to get him back into contention as well. Charging Gasly's battery right now because he's going to need it. Alright, Porsche's back in position.
Okay, recharge on. Good job. Recharge on. Recharge off.
Porsche just has no pace right now. He's out of his rhythm.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Right, that's Hamilton.
Very good job.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Charge on.
Okay.
You think RNG just screwed me? A little, yeah. I mean, it's our brakes. Then they're not great. We do need to try and work on brake cooling. This was what I was worried about. I just didn't expect it to work in, to happen to us in such a bizarre way like that.
You've got energy to push.
One click overtake available.
Yeah.
Alonso tries to go defensive. We just sell him one way and we almost get the chance to shape up for a move on Perez
Good
as
job.
well.
And
Oh,
a
we've
new
got Perez.
position,
Look at
just
that.
gained by Williams.
Beautiful stuff.
Okay, that's good. Very good.
Okay, recharge on. Recharge on.
Hamilton, 5 seconds up the
Let's
road.
lift off, please.
Yeah, copy.
Push hard, push hard.
Yeah.
Charge on for now.
Okay.
Even charging the battery, I think like this, we're still going to set the fastest lap if we race like this for a lap. We are steaming onto the back of Hamilton here. We do set a new fastest lap by a 1/10 while charging up the battery.
Give
That's
us more lift off,
impressive.
please.
Copy.
You can go recharge off if you want.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
Charge off, charge off.
Copy.
See if we can get Hamilton going down into the chicane.
Overtake available, overtake available.
Straight past him like he wasn't even there. Beautiful.
Okay, that's good, Pierre, very good.
Alright, we've got a
And there's an overtake
23-second
from
gap to Bottas. I don't think we're going to be able to do that in 11 laps. But man, we are mighty fast right now. We're about 2 seconds a lap faster. We could get right onto the back of Bottas. The wind's gone. Verstappen has somehow managed to get himself up into the lead past Sainz. Probably a legacy of us holding Sainz up a little bit while we were facing the wrong way at the chicane, but we might just about have enough pace to catch Bottas here. The win is not on though. I mean, we are 28 seconds a lap, or 28 seconds behind with say what, 11 more laps to go. 11 and a half laps to go. And we're less than 2 seconds a lap faster than Verstappen. So yeah, that's not going to happen. I just want to see if I can get Bottas now. Get 4th place. The only way we're going to get the win back on is if we get a safety car.
Overtake available. Let's pick our pace up, let's go. Recharge on, please, recharge on. Lift and coast required.
We need to see if we can start moving Porsche up a little bit.
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
Copy.
overtake available.
Sec spots are back again. Alright, can we get a move here on Russell? No. Can we get a move up the hill? Maybe. Yes.
Awesome. Keep it up.
Good job, Teo.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
Okay, gap to Bottas now 17.5 seconds. We are hunting him down. Russell's tyres are better than Porsche's, that's a worry. Don't have a look. Don't have a look. Thank you. 9 laps to go, including this lap. Bottas's tyres at 54%. I could push those soft tyres, but they're going to wear out so quickly. I might have to at the end. I'd rather kind of hold on to what I've got in terms of grip right now. Keep the pace up as long as I can.
Press and hold overtake now, please. Press and hold overtake now.
Not close enough to use overtake, we'll just stay in neutral. Try and close that gap back up. Maybe have a look at Alonso on the start-finish straight. We might have a try at the tunnel. We've got some traffic coming up, actually. Maybe we can capitalise on the Aston being in the way. It's a Schumacher that we're coming up to the back of. I think. No, Schumacher's behind us. This is Zhou that we're coming up to the back of.
7 laps to go.
7 laps to go, 13.5 seconds. We are closing down on Bottas. Are we going to have enough time left? Are the tyres going to wear out too quickly? Alright, up the hill maybe. No. Through Casino. Can we get a look? No. Does Russell have better tyres? Yeah. Russell's tyres are like 10% better than the cars in front of us. So he's going to be a threat in the last lap or two. We've got enough of an advantage pace-wise, I think, at the moment, but when our tyres really drop down, and they're getting close to that,
6 more laps.
then we are definitely going to run the risk of being overtaken again. Ten and a half seconds to Bottas, who's caught back up to Leclerc. Well, Ferrari's struggling to get through the traffic at the moment by the look of it. That is also going to help us. Come on, Teo. You can do this. Perez is the cork in the bottle right now.
Five more laps.
7 seconds.
Watch for fuel.
Come on, punch your way through, please, this lap.
DRS
the battery.
disabled. DRS disabled.
This is it. This is my last opportunity without recharging. Oh no, he's crashed.
Let's have a look. Now we see the Williams here.
And that gets points. Do I? I've got to. It's a terminal.
Oh, and that's a crash.
Yeah, it's automatically going to change the wing as well. This is not good.
Recharge on.
We'll go full attack with Teo.
Alright, buddy, push, push.
4 laps.
4 more.
We are marginal on fuel. We've got enough pace, I think, to get onto the back of Bottas, but we've got a lot of traffic to get through here. It's going to dive out the way, but it's time to really go for it with the tyres.
We have margin to push a bit more.
Copy.
Push now, push now.
Copy.
Pourchaire's about to get lapped. Ah, that's killed Pourchaire's chance of fighting back into the points. God damn it.
Three more laps.
Alright, let's push. So we will go recharge off.
And we can use the deploy.
Copy.
Okay, I can't get Verstappen, but there's a chance I can actually get onto the podium here. 2 laps to go.
Okay, charge John.
Okay.
Don't think I'm going to get Sainz.
Lift off for the fuel.
Okay.
Need to drop the pace.
Yeah.
Let's lift off, please.
Okay.
We need to push.
Yeah.
Overtake available.
Yeah. Copy.
Come on, Pierre.
Next lap, last lap.
Can I get them both? Around the outside. Oh, I didn't quite have...
There's an overtake from Williams.
Overtake available.
Come on, come on, come on.
Okay.
Back on the podium.
Okay, Pierre, we don't have enough battery.
Yeah.
Another lap, and I'd have got
Pierre.
Sainz.
And a new position, just gained by Williams.
I'll... Oh, excuse me. I'll take that fight back.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
Mad.
That's the checkered flag.
Porsche threw away points at the end, and Gasly is out of fuel. We pushed him as hard as he could possibly go. He's run out of fuel. We were unfortunate in the sense that we couldn't quite get Porsche out in front of Verstappen. If we had, I honestly think we could have retaken 10th place. It would have been close, but I think we would have just about been able to do it with those brand new tyres. We could have just had them on full push the whole way through. But yeah. That was tough, and a disappointing result in the grand scheme of things. You know, we lost points with Teo, we lost the win with Gasly, we recovered enough to get third, but
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the
yeah, that was a
stars.
bizarre crash that took him out of the contention for the win there.
Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. A lovely occasion as we see all three drivers clearly relishing their moments on the podium. Williams have got to be happy with their results here. This was good work.
Yeah, this was a really clever bit of strategy, and it's great to see that pay off. I can't wait to find out what they show us next time.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in 3rd place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be racing through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Okay, so it looks like we've lost out to Red Bull in the constructors. Yeah, disappointing for Teo. He did admirably for us in his role at the start of the race. Pierre had that race completely under control until his brakes failed. Just reiterates what we've been saying all season, is that we need to improve the brake cooling on our car quite considerably. That's one area where we really need to focus our research and development. We stay top of the drivers' standings, but we actually lose a couple of points. Could have been worse. Carlos Sainz only gains 2 points on us for finishing in 2nd place. Charles Leclerc drops even further behind, another 4 points back from us, so that's okay. Max gets a nice big chunk of points. That brings him a little bit closer to us, but we do still have a 16-point lead, so it's not all bad. Lewis overtakes Teo. Another strong result for Lewis, considering where the Mercedes is this season. George struggles, but just about managed to get some points, thanks to us binning it at the end there. Good result for Bottas. Very good result for Bottas. In the constructors, Red Bull do overtake us. We are now 25 points off Ferrari, who gained 14 on us this season, this race. Big points haul for Red Bull, 31 points. That puts them 17 off the top and 8 ahead of us. We do get another development point for Teo. Gets a nice little haul of points. And a really nice little haul of points for Pierre, considering he spent most of that race at the top of at the front of the queue with very little to do. In terms of our sponsors, we fail on one of our streaks. We lose the finish position streak. God damn it. That one was worth big money. That's cost us a big windfall financially. Okay, let's take a look at our emails. Engine cooling could be better. Yeah, so could our brake cooling. A little post-race overview from Michael Loom there. Let's go to the driver profiles. Let's see. Improve Teo's reactions. His cornering and braking are decent. His reactions need some definite improvement. We're quite lucky in the sense that he's got a good smoothness rating here, because it does mean we don't have to worry about him eating his tyres as well as having to increase his pace stats. We can focus purely on him improving his pace right now. I would like to improve his accuracy and his control, but these are the 3 stats that are the most important. I would argue reactions and braking are probably the 2 most important stats in the game for a driver. No point for Pierre, but you can see he's so fast with those stats. We are working his reactions up to 90. That's going to make him blisteringly quick. No point for Logan. No points for any of our staff either. Let's take a look at car development. We are going to need some new parts. We've broken a couple of wings. We're down to just 2 front wings left. We don't have a front wing in development. We just have research going on right now. So we are going to have to go ahead and create some new front wings. Let's get 4 of them. It's going to be a while, I think, before we can get another front wing on the car. maybe putting a point into overtake for Porsche. No. Improving pace is by far the most important thing to do when you're upgrading your drivers. Overtake is one of the last things that you should be looking to improve, overtaking and defending. What else do we need to build? We're okay on chassis. I'm amazed we didn't lose a chassis or suspension from that race there. Let's check the condition of the car engine parts. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's okay. Don't forget we did take the penalty for Teo last time out at Barcelona, which is why it's got these extra parts. Let's check gearboxes. 57. So I think we might have taken a little bit of a knock to Teo's gearbox during that race, but we still have 3 more, so we don't need any more parts for Teo. We will need some more for Gasly at some point. Let's just get rid of the sec spots. And reports. There we go. Right. So we can't upgrade the car because we've already got research going on, but we do have a project finishing in 5 days, so we can then maybe look at developing a new part after that. I'm not sure if we've got any hours left or when the next ATR period is coming up. We'll find out in 5 days time, I guess. Let's take a quick look at our facilities. We're closing in on the 18 million we need for that, but I am toying with the idea of upgrading our suspension simulator to improve our brake cooling, because it is pretty poor. Car part test center would be nice, but I would argue the suspension simulator is probably more important. We can afford it. How long would it take? "46 days. Let's skip forward until the research is done. Let's take a look at what we can actually do to the car. So, car part development, new projects, design. If we want to improve our brake cooling, then we're going to need another suspension. We're already on our 3rd suspension. Okay. We have some hours left and 16 days to the next ATR period. I was going to do another research project, but I would like to maybe try and improve the brake cooling a little bit more. We want to really focus on improving that. We improved the drag reduction. Let's have a look at our rank on the grid. We can afford to sacrifice a little bit of development on high speed. Medium speed. Do need to boost that slightly, I think. And that would still increase barely. What about low speed? We do kind of need to boost our low speed a bit. So that would give us a little bit of a spood beast, a speed boost, a spood beast. What the hell is a spood beast? If I were to reduce aero sensitivity or airflow a little bit, take it easy, Anthony. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, so that way we're not actually losing development on any of these parts. We are staying the same on high speed. We're gaining very slightly on medium and low speed. We're getting a nice boost to our drag reduction, which will help our speed overall. And we're focusing heavily on brake cooling to try and just improve that as much as we can. It isn't, unfortunately, going to give us a massive jump in cooling. If I go custom to optimize cooling, that hurts our high-speed cornering a little bit. I mean, that gives us a better gain, but we do lose some drag reduction. And I do kind of want to boost our speed again. Let's go back to what we were trying to do. So we actually lose a little bit of net downforce on our high speed there. I want to try and avoid a loss if I can. This is where the balancing act gets quite tricky. So that would see us lose some low speed performance. There we go. So that gives us maximum increase in drag reduction that we can. Minimal boosts to our cornerings, but still allows us to try and focus on brake cooling a little bit more. Can I reduce the airflow down a little bit? Airflow is already pretty low. I'm going to go there. I'm going to leave that like that, so we get a negligible change to increase to our airflow front value. That'll give us a nice little boost to our speed. It'll boost our acceleration of the DRS, and it does give us an extra 0.6% on our brake cooling, which is going to be important. So we're going to go 3 engineers. We're going to go intense to try and boost our expertise gain. We'll get that in 27 days, which will be in time for Silverstone, which will be helpful. And the question is, do I go with the design center or do I go with the suspension? I've got to go with the suspension simulator. We're going to be doing multiple suspension upgrades, I think, this season to improve our brakes. So that's left us pretty poor. We've got the Grand Prix in 6 days. Wright Rivers has been shoved our way. 21-year-old. Not what I'm looking for. Let me see. George Russell. I don't have any scouts, do I? Let's get some scouts. And let's scout out both George Russell. I know he's not interested now, but he might be at the end of the season, especially if we beat him in the championship, which we're looking like doing. We're going to get a detailed scout on George Russell, so we can get contract information as well, and wage information, and we're going to get a detailed scout on Lando, who again, not interested. Is that, yeah, partly the race weekend, partly he also has a negative outlook on us, which I think is the same reason that George isn't interested. It is. But again, things may change at the end of the season. Let's have a look at Oliver. There he is. He's gone up to a 70 rating. We'll have to get a detailed scout of him at some point. But he is our long-term target. He's going to be the guy that we are putting our long-term future hopes into. Okay, so there we go. That is Monaco. Not the best result for us, unfortunately. We did, for so long, look like we were going to just walk that race after some very clever strategy at the start to try and hold up, you know, the competitors and give Gasly the best possible chance. And it was all going so well until a weird brake failure sent him into an invisible wall at a weird angle and ruined his race. We did manage to fight back and get a podium. Another lap and we would have had second place as well. And then Teo, having done a great job, fought his way into the points, closed down the guys in front of him, got past one of them and then binned it and ended up 13th in the lap. So yeah, not the greatest at races. But hey, it's another podium. We're still in the hunt for the constructors. We're still top of the drivers' standings. We are still looking very strong this season. And we have Baku up next, which I absolutely love. It's a circuit where high speed is going to help. Our high speed cornering isn't going to be a massive boost, but it's certainly going to help us at the end of the lap. Low speed is kind of king around the cornering on this circuit. Lots of slow 90-degree turns. But there are some fast ones in the second half of the lap. So the end of the lap could be a very strong area for us. And we will check that out tomorrow. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back same time tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. in the evening for the UK, with the Baku Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.